Hello, party people. How we doing out there tonight? My name is Lucas.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome to Glassjaw Nerds, episode 4. Holy moly. 4 episodes deep, and we still only have a couple viewers on each episode. That's okay, though. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
All right, so I actually have no really news tonight. There's some things. Tonight's episode is actually kind of special, guys. We're going to be talking about video games more so than movies or comics. So Masahiro Sakurai, the guy who directs, he's basically created Kirby. He did all of the Super Smash Bros. He's taking a break from video games for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is done, there's no more characters to add or anything. He's taking a break. And the hashtag #ThankYouSakurai is trending on Twitter, which is very awesome. So thank you very much, Mr. Sakurai, for giving me like 20 years of fucking entertainment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
He basically had a mental breakdown when he was doing Smash 4 for Wii U and 3DS at the same time, so
yeah,
fair enough.
I don't think he really wanted to do it too much.
No.
Like, I think after, like, the second one.
It was Brawl. Brawl was supposed to be the last one, and they were just like, hey, no, we're Nintendo.
Hey, we're
keep
making money.
Yeah.
You know, we're a fucking greedy capitalist pieces of shit, and we're going to fucking, take
That is the house that Mario made.
They
can do whatever they want, man. They're not like... The house that Mario made. It's like did you ever have to watch that thing in school that was like the house that Crack built?
No.
Yeah, they made us watch this play for like the DARE program that was like, and this is the baby that lives in the house that Crack built. And it's like, oh shit.
Just
if Crack built a house, I bet it's a pretty nice house.
I don't
Crack's
understand
expensive.
why they didn't why this is your brain on drugs. You fucking get like why don't you just say like
who was that? Rachel Lee Cook?
Yeah.
And she's just beating an egg with a fucking frying pan.
And it's just like why don't you say yo, if you do drugs, it's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, right?
Like,
hey, don't do drugs.
Yeah. Like, it'll make you sick, idiots.
Yeah. It'll give you severe depression.
Yeah. So
don't do drugs.
If you do them, you're dumb. I mean,
dummy dumbs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that would work.
Yeah, it wouldn't. You fucking idiots. Don't do fucking... Hey, guys. Listen, this is Michael Jordan from McDonald's. Don't do drugs. Stop it. Get some help. And I know when you're told not to do drugs by your parents and teachers, it turns you off. It turns me off, too. Why would he say that?
I don't know, but you know what's awesome? Would have been awesome if like there was another commercial that was like pro drugs and it was James Worthy.
All right, moving on since we don't have any news. So the only like real bit of news is, and I meant to talk about this last week, is they announced the cast for the Super Mario movie. It's an animated movie done by Illumination.
I already hate it.
You already hate it?
I hate Illumination.
You know what though? They did Sing. And I really like Sing.
I never saw it.
It's really good. Very well put together movie. As a huge fan of animation, as I've said for the past episode and a half now, it's really well put together. Very good voice cast. I didn't know Scarlett Johansson could actually sing.
Yeah, she put out like a couple records.
Then that guy that you remember the Rocket Man movie? I've never watched it, but it's the Elton John biopic.
Yes,
he got that job
movie,
because he did an Elton John song for the movie Sing.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and he killed it. It's like Tegan Egerton or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that guy, and I like that movie a lot.
So
Rocket Man's one of the best, like, underrated films.
All right, so we're going to go through the cast of the Super Mario movie and both give our opinions on them. I think that's fair enough. Before I do, though, I just want to say that before I get into the cast, a lot of people on social media, I think, they think that this movie's live action, like the 1990s Mario Bros. Movie.
They're like dumb.
So they're like, Chris Pratt and Mario, blah, blah. It's his voice, guys. Chill. Yeah. It's his voice. And, he's a very talented comedic actor. I mean, he played, I think it's Andy Dwyer or something like that. It's Andy, though, for sure, on Parks and Rec. But yeah, okay, so that's going to be our first topic. Our first person is Chris Pratt is playing Mario. It's not going to be Mario, but...
I don't like it. I don't really like Chris Pratt that much. I don't know. Like, it's probably a lot of, like, off-screen stuff. Like, he's kind of, like... There's been a lot of, like, hey, this guy's kind of sketch, right?
Yeah,
like,
he's very... he goes to a homophobic church and stuff
but there's also other stuff, like, I don't know. He's just kind of one of those dudes where, like, I feel weird, like, supporting him. And he's, I don't know, everybody's all like, well, he's great in Guardians of the Galaxy. Star-Lord's, in the comics, Star-Lord sucks.
Yeah, he's a B character.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yondu is the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Well, and Star-Lord's a dick in the comics.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas,
totally.
like, they're like, he is so unlikable, we have to make him a goofball. And he's my least favorite.
Rocket was the breakout character from the original Guardians.
Yeah.
And
so, I get why they did it, name recognition, whatever, but
maybe, though, with my whole thing with this whole cast, too, is Miyamoto, Shigeru Miyamoto. He's the creator of Mario and all of them. legendary game designer, legendary, prolific entirely. And he was the one who helped cast this movie. So if he impressed him enough to get the job, then that means something.
I guess maybe. Or else he was just like, fucking make the movie so I can make some money. I need a new retirement home.
Fucking money.
Like
he isn't worth millions of dollars considering he's created every single IP that Nintendo banks off of.
That's true.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All right, so moving on, we have Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach.
I think this is a good pick.
I think it's a fantastic pick. I was telling you about New Mutants. She played Magic in New Mutants.
Yeah.
And she was one of the best parts of that
She's been in a lot of stuff lately. She's kind of on the up.
Yeah, she did, what was it, like The Witch or whatever it was. She did, there was something else I just watched and she was in it. I don't know. She's got one of those weird faces that's like kind of scary, but at the same time very beautiful.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
All right. Any more to say about Anya Taylor-Joy? No? All right. I keep wanting to say Aaron Taylor-Johnson because he's playing Princess Peach.
That would be very progressive choice.
Yeah, very, very progressive choice. He's playing Prince Peach. No, it's still Princess Peach. And then this is my favorite one, actually. One of my favorite ones, I should say, is Charlie Day as Luigi.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
They better do the Pepe Silvia meme where he's just like, we gotta go through the tunnels and get to Bowser, and then he's got the peach and the Mushroom Kingdom. And he's slapping a clipboard, and Mario's like, what are you doing? Me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Charlie Day doing this. I think it's a good world. Like, it depends on what they're doing with this. I mean, obviously, this is going to be a bit more of a comedic thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm on for it.
I am, too. So, moving on from that is my favorite choice for this whole movie, actually. And that is Jack Black as Bowser.
I love Jack Black. I think this is going to be fun.
I do too.
Because it's going to be hammy, of course. That's the point. You don't get Jack Black because you're looking for subtlety, even though he can be a good subtle actor.
Oh, yeah. Like King Kong's a very good example of his subtlety.
Yeah.
And even in that, he still kind of hammed it up as a director. Because isn't that what he played in that? Is it like a director?
Yeah, he played.
Something like that. Yeah. All right. And then we got Keegan-Michael Key as Toad.
Whatever.
You don't mind?
It doesn't bother me, but it also doesn't oh my God.
Well, I just really want him to do, you've watched Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the episode where Rick and Morty and Summer break time and there's like 15 different things going on at once on the screen?
Oh, yeah.
He plays like the testicle monster that's supposed to be like a Lingolier.
Yeah.
I want him to do that voice for Toad, where he's like, listen, Mario. And I'm not going to do it anymore because then people are going to be like, yo, Lucas is kind of racist. But yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
I do too. Then we have Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Sure.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me.
Let's get some bananas, man.
That was closer than I was expecting.
Yeah,
right? I'm not going to lie. That was actually pretty good.
This one time I had a cold, and my voice was so messed up, and every time I laughed, it sounded like Seth Rogen's laughing. I wanted to kill myself the entire time. I was like, it was terrible. Then we have one of my favorite actors, actually, favorite comedic actors, is Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Which this guy gives 110% for every role he does. So I am very, very on board with this. Especially with how, I've always read Cranky Kong's voice in my head, from the games. I think Fred Armisen's going to kill it. And I really just want him to do Miss Goosey at least once. A Miss Goosey. A Miss Goosey.
Yeah, Fred Armisen, he's good.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that, because he was on SNL, right?
Yeah.
For a little while, and then he left SNL, and then did underground stuff. He didn't go
He had his own show on the independent film channel called Portlandia.
And, I respect him. I respect that. And I think he's good.
Yep. And then we have Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek. I don't know who this is.
If I remember right, this is the dude. He's a big time voice actor.
Is he?
He did Kilowog in the Green Lantern TV show, the animated show. Which is incredibly underrated TV show, by the way.
Kilowog is the pig-looking guy,
the pig
right?
guy, yeah. And he's done other stuff. He's been in every animated Star Wars show. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. He played the Joker in the Batman.
Yeah, he's.
He also does Cleveland Jr.'s voice on.
That's
Cleveland
right.
Show.
Yeah, he's a big time voice actor.
Yeah, big voice actor. Okay.
And I really am a big fan. I
always thought Kamek was a woman, so I'm definitely interested to see what he does with it. No, sorry.
No, you're good.
It's you guys can see, I thought I just burned Mike with a cigarette. It wasn't lit, luckily, but still. All right.
It's the thought that counts.
Then this is also someone I don't know. Is Sebastian Maniscalco? I'm probably...
Yeah, I don't know.
Foreman Spike, which Spike is a Koopa. So
okay, yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's it. That's basically it. And then we have Charles Martinet. And do you know who Charles Martinet is?
I do not.
He is the voice of Mario. Like
no
for the
shit.
video. Yeah, he's the wah wah wah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's done Mario.
I never even thought that a person did that. For some
right.
reason.
Like he's the me, I'm Mario.
I just figured, honestly,
that it was me. Yeah,
no, I figured it was probably just like the fucking game developer was like, shit. It just fucking
that
did
is
it in like
Charles
10 minutes.
Martinet, and
Fair enough.
he puts his whole body into it. Like when he's like doing it, he's like okie dokie, ha 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 ha, and like moves his arms and shit. He's like a 65-year-old man. He's been doing this for 30 years, but he does Mario, Luigi, Waluigi, and Wario's voice, and he's listed as a mystery character. I think they're gonna do a cold end credit stinger with Wario and set him up as like the villain for the next movie, and it's just gonna be Charles Martinet being like, "Ha ha, it's a me, Wario."
Yeah,
and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh,
that'll be
fucking
cool.
shit!" Yeah, it'll be really good. All right, so moving on from the Mario movie, like I said, tonight is more of a video game centric episode, so we're gonna be doing top 5 video games that need adaptations.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this summer. Coming to a theater near you. A tale of love, worship,
I got off the
and
beat.
sin.
Yeah, I lost the beat. Fuck it.
I'm pretty good at doing a movie voice. I didn't know this until just now.
This summer on Lifetime.
BT.
Alrighty.
All right, so do you want to get us started or you want me to get us started?
I'll get us started, god damn it.
Okay.
So, my first video game that could be, I would do this one as a film.
Okay.
Mass Effect.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I would honestly do them as films, each individual film. Something we're going to get into later is kind of like why do video game adaptations not really work, and like why do they so many fail. And I'll get into my reason why I feel like that's a thing when we get to that part of the show. But I feel like Mass Effect has a really good narrative.
Yeah.
It's got really cool, deep lore, and I think it could be like a cool Star Trek-esque like property for whoever
decides to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so my number 5 is, and I don't know if you've ever played this game. It's a PlayStation 1 game, right when games started becoming like cinematic.
Yeah.
It's called Legend of Dragoon.
No.
No? Okay, so Legend of Dragoon takes place in like night times, kind of. There's magic, things like that. It's basically like Final Fantasy. It was made by Square Enix, the same people that made Final Fantasy. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was made by Sony. But it was one of the only games on the PS1 that had a 4-disc to it. Like you had to play through 4-disc. But the Legend of Dragoon is about this knight named Dart, and he goes on this great adventure to stop this ancient evil from rising. You know, basic RPG stuff. But the game has such a solid story, and I could go into this more after the podcast is over just so I can explain it a little bit better to you, but they have these things that are called Dragoon Souls, and it allows them to transform into these knights that have, like, wings, and they have, like, special elemental powers that go with them. And with the whole storyline that is in the game, I just think it would translate very well to film, probably a series of film. But I know that it's one of those properties that, like, fans have petitioned Sony to remake this game at least 20 times. Like, it's amazing. It's an amazing game. I can't count how many times I replayed it. And this is like a 140-hour game, too. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds cool to me.
It's fun, man. It's a fun game. I won't lie. You were like Mass Effect, and I was like, oh, shit, I chose really old games.
Well, some of the, not all of the games that I are necessarily new. Mass Effect is relatively old, too. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, like 2008, I think is when the first one came out. I've actually only played like the second one, I think.
I've played some of the first one. I like it.
Yeah. What's your fourth?
My fourth is Destiny. So
okay, yeah.
I have tried very hard to play Destiny, and I don't mean I've tried like I've played it and like didn't like it. I literally mean I have tried to play it and I cannot do it. Like I
just can't get into it.
No, I can't get one that works. I bought a copy of it and my Xbox wouldn't play it.
Okay.
It was like, well, you need to connect to the internet. And I was like, I thought I was. And I was, but I guess my Xbox is shit and doesn't work. I can work. I tried to buy it online for like my computer, and they didn't have any. I've gone out of my way to try to play this game.
And just can't.
And literally, the universe is preventing me from playing this game.
You're like, no, fuck you, Mike.
But from everybody I know who has played it, they basically say there's a lot of cool like lore in there and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But like the game itself is kind of weak.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. I played through the first one when it first came out, and that's exactly how I felt about it. The gameplay was kind of, typical FPS style. It kind of reminded me have you ever played Borderlands?
Yes.
Okay, it kind of reminded me of Borderlands gaming-wise, but not as fun. Like Borderlands, you can create like over 1 million types of guns and stuff, but the storyline and the deep lore of the worlds is definitely there.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be a really cool thing to do. I feel like it would get people into the world a little bit.
Yeah.
And it would help to kind of really
expand the lore.
Yeah, and actually like do it, because without having to worry about like the game mechanics and shit.
Even if they didn't base it off the game, they could set it in the game world. Yeah. And just expand on the lore.
Yeah.
Which is like they talked about a Halo movie for a long time.
Yeah, which
I mean, and if they did it, I think that's how they would do it. Is just like make it take place in between games and not as one of the games.
But yep, that's mine.
My fourth one's a weird choice. I think this could be a really good kids movie. It's a property owned by Hasbro. It's called Glover.
Vaguely know this.
Okay, you play as a glove that rolls around on a ball.
Okay.
Yeah. My wife is looking at me like, oh, fuck, yes. Yeah, it would just be like a really good kid-friendly movie, if I'm being honest. Because that's something that works for games, is that, or for kid movies, is obscure character, and you take that and make them a fish out of water, boom. Oh, yeah. You make money.
Well, it's just like that stupid fucking toaster who went to Mars show.
The Brave Little Toaster?
Yeah, like that has become like this fucking phenomenon. Like it's a cult phenomenon. And it's like,
it's because our entire generation, me and Mike are millennials. I'm sure that anyone who listens to this is either millennial or Gen Z, but we are hooked on nostalgia. There is a terrifying scene in The Brave Little Toaster where they all get like put into a junkyard. Oh, and like I'm pretty sure one of them commits suicide, and that is terrifying.
Right. I've seen that movie once years ago, and I was like, and stopped watching it. I know, I'm the worst, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I'm cool with the handball guy.
Okay, he's a wizard's glove.
I'm cool.
And his enemy is the other wizard's glove.
All right, that's adorable. I like that.
Yeah, like, right? Be a good kids film.
So my number 3...
No, yeah, you're number 3.
Is a slightly obscure, although I think if people like our age kind of look at this, they're going to remember it a little bit. It's a series of video games called The Legacy of Kain.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
What was it? Legacy of Kain, it's like Reeve something.
Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
the
this.
second game.
Yeah, I remember playing that a lot when I was a kid.
So it's actually this really, the lore of the game, the first game was Legacy of Kain, and you play as Kain, who's like this douchebag who becomes a vampire, and you basically take over the world. The second game is you're one of Kain's minions, and he betrays you, so you go after him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like it's this really interesting world, and I feel like it would be a really cool like series or film or something.
See, that's like Oddworld. I always felt like Oddworld would make a good movie too. All right. My number 3 is, sorry, my phone died and I had to plug it in real fast.
Luke does not memorize things.
I don't. All of this is just set up as notes. All right, yeah. My third is Final Fantasy IV, also known as Final Fantasy II in America. And the reason I say this one opposed to any other Final Fantasy is because it is one of the only video games that like made me cry. The storyline made me cry.
Okay.
Like a baby.
Is this the one with Cloud?
No, that's Final Fantasy VII.
7.
I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy, actually. I don't like them very much, but number 4 just holds a very special place in my heart.
Fair enough.
There's this set of twins named Palom and Parom, and they're like 7 years old. and they go, and they're spellcasters, so they go on this journey with you, and you get to this point in the villain's castle where the walls are closing in on you, your party's screwed, and the twins each go to a set of the walls and turn themselves into stone forever, like kill themselves to save your party. And I just bawled. I was like, these 7-year-old kids gave their lives. And like, I just remember crying real hard, like 13-year-old Lucas just crying really hard playing this game.
I like that.
Oh yeah. I just think that storyline would, if you want to make a Final Fantasy movie, you obviously can't start with number 1. And number 2 and 3 are also kind of bland, but number 4 would be a good jumping on point to make a movie with.
Hell yeah. So my number 2 is, they would each be individual films.
Okay.
The Fallout series.
Oh, they're making a Fallout TV series.
Are they really?
Yeah, Amazon Prime, I think, is where it's coming on.
I fucking hate Amazon, but fine. I mean, I didn't hear about that. I think that's such an interesting world, and there's such interesting deep lore. Like, just playing the game, like, there are things you'll miss if you aren't, like if you were to just go and fucking explore the maps of, like, Fallout 3, and you'll find, like, you'll find, like, an alien ship.
Oh, yeah, the Zedans or whatever it is.
Yeah, and you could just get a fucking space gun.
That's so cool.
Or, like, just, like, all the really deep, interesting things in the games. All of them have.
My favorite one is during the first Fallout, you can be wandering in the desert, and a TARDIS will just, like, disappear in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
There's just, like, a lot of cool little stuff like that, and I think it's a neat world.
You'll roll up on, like, a sentry, like, 4 sentries shooting one mole rat, like, with turrets. Like, and they're just, like, destroying it. Like, I love that, especially if you have the Wild Wastelands perk in number 3 or New Vegas or 4. Like, there's so much weird shit happens in those games. I think you're right. It's a perfect environment, and it would build off the story. They don't even have to base it off one of the games. You could literally just, this guy came from Vault 122, and he's stuck in the world now, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
I think it'd be a really cool thing.
Oh, yeah, so do I. They should do it in the Midwest. I've been
that
saying
would be
this.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, because Fallout Brotherhood, I'm sorry, I'm going to get on this for a second. Brotherhood of Steel, which is another Fallout game, which is terrible. No, it's not Brotherhood of Steel. It's Tactics. Fallout Tactics, which you play as a Brotherhood initiative in Chicago. And, like, that's the only time we've seen any of the Midwest. If we're not doing that, we're on the East Coast or the West Coast. And I don't know if those games are canon anymore. They used to be, but I don't think they are after 3, 4 in New Vegas came out.
Right.
So I just think it would be really cool to see them. All right, my number 2. I know you're looking at me like, stop looking at your phone, Lucas. My number 2 is, I just had it in my head. Oh, my God. Metroid. That's what it was.
Okay.
It's based off Alien.
Yes.
That's why the dragon boss that you fight in it, his name's Ridley.
It's a xenomorph, basically.
Oh, no, that's like everything that holds your powers, like these little statues, they look like xenomorphs.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, Samus Aran is one of those protagonists that I could just see. You know, we were talking about this before, where females, they have to be like, basically, like, let's make them as butch as possible and make them rough and tough, and they chew and they bite off people's dicks and whatnot because they're so fucking anti-man, and you can't just make a woman who's also a main character. And Samus is just that. I mean, her parents were killed. She was genetically experimented on, and while she is a badass, she still is a female. Yeah. And she's still feminine. Like, I mean, look at Zero Suit Samus. Am I right? Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. And what the best part is that, like, I remember my brother telling me, like, I was playing, like, the first, it might have been Super Metroid, and I was playing through it, and he goes, oh, you're playing Metroid? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like 5, and he's like, you know, Samus is a girl, right? And I go, what? Like, I was, like, so surprised that, like, Samus Aran is a girl, but nonetheless, like, it's just a good story, man. I think there's a lot of material there. They could follow the Prime series. They could follow the original series. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of potential there.
Hell yeah.
For a good setup.
I agree.
Yeah.
So my number 1,
boom, boom,
the Half-Life series.
I knew you were going for Half-Life.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I think Half-Life is a legendary game series. It's one of those where it's like the fans are going to not want you to touch it. But I actually feel like it would work really well as a film.
Yeah, I mean, they won't give us a third game, so they might as well give us a film.
Yeah. And I think it'd be really cool. I think it would work really well. It's an interesting world. It's science fiction, but it's like in a different context.
Yeah, it's
really
like
a different
dark science fiction too. Black Mesa and the Aperture Science Divisions and stuff like that. Like they continued that story in Portal a little bit, but like still, I would love to see that actually. Did you know if you slow down the monsters talking in that game, it's like people being like, "Please help me!
Yeah,
please kill me! Kill me!" and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, there's so much more to it. And I mean, Valve they've gone to just doing Steam and stuff. That's where the money is, so they don't want to make another game. But
well, they released a VR Half-Life.
Yeah, and that's.
I don't know if it's like a part of an episode or what.
I don't know, but I think it'd be a really cool thing to see. If somebody get a hold of it.
Is Half-Life, doesn't it have G-Man in it?
Yes, that's a G-Man.
Yeah, see, that would just be, he's a great antagonist.
Yeah.
So, like,
because you don't really know what he is.
Or who he is, or why he's doing what he's doing.
What his motivations are. It's
exactly.
Just, it's a neat world, and I would like to see it on the big screen.
All right, so my number one. First, I'm going to throw in, like, 2 or 3 honorable mentions real fast. I think the Earthbound series, Mother series, whatever you want to call it.
I was going to do... honorable mention after that, and Earthbound was going to be on it. Yeah.
See, yeah. I just think the Mother series, it's got a cool vibe to it, and one of my favorite game series of all time. Give us Mother 3, you fucking sons of bitches. But nonetheless... I
was also going to throw in Undertale.
Undertale would be a good one, just because I think it would be a good moneymaker, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see a game-accurate Resident Evil movie, just because, let's face it, I don't like those movies. Everyone, like my brother is a huge Resident Evil fan, and he likes them.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm not a big fan of them. Mila Djokovic just...
Those movies suck.
She's a side
Those
character.
Are objectively bad movies.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm
what I'm
sorry.
saying.
Like, I like how you're like, look, I'm going to fucking go out on a limb here, but those movies, not
There's
great.
a big fan base for them,
Of course
actually.
there are. There's fucking...
The animated movies are 20 times better because they follow, like, Leon and Claire and, like, characters from the games. But they are in the process of making a Netflix series, and it looks like it's following the games.
Hell yeah.
I've seen pictures of Leon and Claire, and I think Chris, maybe, and it looks pretty good. There was one more honorable mention, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, bring back Donkey Kong and the Legend of the Crystal Coconut. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a CGI animated show from the 90s that has terrible animation, but, like, the guy who plays Donkey Kong when they do songs has one of the best voices I've ever heard in my life. I can't even explain. I'm going to show you once we're done with this tonight some of the songs from Donkey Kong and the Legend of the Crystal Coconut, because it is insane how well this guy sings. Because your love is like a golden banana. Like, it's worth it, I promise.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm with you. I'm all right.
So my number one pick, and I think this would work best as a TV series. I'm going to get into this a little bit later once we get into like the main topic of tonight, and is The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
You guys don't know this out there. Me and Mike, he writes, I write. We both like to direct and stuff, and we were working on some projects and stuff that we're probably actually going to be putting up on this YouTube channel. But my main
or OnlyFans.
That or OnlyFans. We haven't decided yet. All the deleted scenes are just me jacking it,
like not even like cinematically. It's
like, not even like just holding the camera, jacking it at a very awkward angle.
Like, I don't see anything. I just know what's going on based off of the
sound and the vibe. Yeah. But my dream as a director has always been, or a writer even, has always been to do a Legend of Zelda series, and every season would be one of the games.
Yeah.
But do it in the timeline order. So first game in timeline would be Skyward Sword. So I would do that first, then Ocarina of Time. And then since there's a timeline split there, I would release like 2 seasons at a time to do 2 parts of the timeline at the same time. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Right? It would work. Because a lot of people were like, Legend of Zelda movie, Legend of Zelda movie. That won't work. You can't tell even one Zelda game story in one movie.
Yeah, it's similar to like Dragon Ball, like live action Dragon Ball. I don't think you can do it as a movie. So I think you have to do them as a series.
Exactly. You would have to.
Which, for me, I think most stories work better as a series than
I do
they
too,
films.
especially nowadays.
Especially nowadays, because it's like, especially with streaming, it's like, to me, it's like, why do, like, obviously there are some stories that need to be films.
Yeah.
Because... I mean, you could probably make it a series, but you're going to probably put in a lot of bullshit filler in there. And as a writer, let me tell you, writers love to do one thing and one thing only, and that's put too much crap in the script.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I think Legend of Zelda would be... Because it's such a neat world.
Exactly.
And it's so... It's like people would see it and they'd go see it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They would watch it.
Oh, yeah. No matter what. Even if it was bad, people would watch it.
Yeah, just to bitch about it.
Exactly. And it's like Detective Pikachu.
Right.
And we're going to get into the main topic kind of now. And the main topic tonight, like Mike said, is, well, we're actually going for the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts. We're going to be telling our version of a adaptation of Kingdom Hearts. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about why video game movies fail. And Detective Pikachu was kind of the start of video game movies that were good. Before that, though, there was Doom. There was...
Shut your whore mouth. That movie is I've never
I got
seen
the BFG.
I've never
it's
seen
a
it.
big fucking gun.
Is that with The Rock?
Yeah.
In it?
He plays Doomslayer, and it's not good. Or Doom Guy, if you will. It doesn't really matter. But there's a bunch of them, man. I don't know if you ever played the game Blood Rain.
Oh, I've not played the game, but I've seen that movie.
Yeah, that movie's terrible. But the game is pretty good. Pretty good. Like,
yeah.
I was like 12 when I played it, and it was just a vampire lady with big tits. So I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Blood Rain, kill those Nazis. I'm going to go take care of this tingle I have out of nowhere because I'm 12. My wife is looking at me like she's going to stab me in the neck. All right. But there's a lot of them. I remember loving the Super Mario Bros. Movie as a kid.
The first step is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah, right? Mario, and Luigi Mario. John Leguizamo and fucking, who else was that? Bob Hoskins.
I love Bob Hoskins. He's
so
been one of
do
my
I.
all-time favorite movies, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
He's
I
a
love
great
that movie.
actor. He was a prolific actor. And if you've ever read, I'll probably send this to you later. There's original scripts for the Super Mario Bros. Movie that are fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, I've seen those.
Yeah. And instead, they gave it to this couple that had directed like a couple commercials or something before.
Yeah.
And they did Max Headroom.
Yeah.
And they fucking were like, no, we're going to do this futuristic. It's a dinosaur city, and it's a parallel world to ours. And everyone was like, no, don't do that. Even the actors were like, no, don't fucking do that. And they just did it, and it ruined that whole movie's production.
Yep.
And I think that's a lot of the reason that video game movies and video game adaptations fail is because these producers get a hold of them and just destroy them. Or these directors get a hold of them, and they know the source material just barely and just decide to take it in a different direction because they don't understand that source material.
I think that's a big part of it. I also think a big part of it is that, video games by nature are very, it's amazing how, like, often stories in video games don't make any fucking sense or are not that deep, but you don't realize it because the games play so much fun. And the thing is that, like, what is the story of the first Super Mario Brothers game?
The princess is kidnapped, and everybody's been turned to bricks, and you have to go save her from the Koopa King.
How do you make that a movie? Like, you have to do something to, like, make some fucking sense. Because the thing is that you just need a vehicle to get him to jump on turtles and save a princess. Like,
Yeah.
Play a platform.
Yeah, there wasn't as much lore to the Mario world.
Which now there is a whole bunch, but at the time it was like, fuck, we just need this guy to jump and do stuff. Like, whatever. So here's a loose framework for that to happen. So for me, a big reason is like some of these video games don't have the greatest of plots. That's why the ones I chose are very plot-driven video games. Like, I feel like there are some video games, like the Kingdom Hearts games, that would work better not as video games.
Yeah, same.
Because they're so plot driven that the mechanics and like the gameplay start to get affected because they're worried so much about
Kingdom Hearts 2. We had talked about this the other night.
Yeah.
The fucking Little Mermaid world when you have to do Under the Sea, and if you fail, you have to do it all over again.
Awful.
Like, it's a terrible time.
Yeah.
If I have to hear Under the Sea one more time in
Under
my life.
the sea, beep, I'll start over. And then you
oh,
die.
you missed 2
you
months.
Die.
Yeah, and then
like your
Sword just drowns or something.
I can't sing. I'm sorry. I warned you before.
The fucking crab is just laughing in the background. Sebastian's like, fish boy, he dead.
You will die now. But like,
holy shit.
It's like, fucking hell. But like, that's a big thing too, is finding the right video games to adapt.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't even know if like a Halo video game, like a Halo movie would work.
I think it would, because there's a lot of lore to that. There's books that have been written into the series and stuff like that. It depends on, like I said, it all depends on producers, writers, and things like that.
Understanding the source material. It's the same thing with like comic books. I mean, that's why like some comic book movies are bullshit. It's because
Steel.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, I of course at the time when I was a kid, Shaq is one of my all-time fucking favorite humans. Like I'm a big fan of him.
I love when he hides from paparazzi behind very small things, like they can't see him.
There's this. I'm going to talk about Shaq for a second. There's this rumor that this guy was talking about how he saw Shaq like on the side of the road and he pulled over or something and saw him and said, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" And the guy was in like a smart car or something, and Shaq was like, "I'll take a picture with you, but you have to take a picture of me in your tiny car." And apparently Shaq loves taking pictures of himself in small like cars. He thinks it's hilarious. And I want a fucking coffee table book of Shaq in tiny cars.
That would be amazing.
But the thing is that Steel in the movie, he's all like, I'm gonna create a power suit, blah blah blah. Whereas in the comics, Steel is actually like a pretty dark character.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be Superman.
He's from the same company that does Icon and...
No.
Stack Shock,
it's DC.
Right? Is he?
Yeah, he was straight DC because he was part of the reign of the Superman. After Superman died, he was supposed to be like the new Man of Steel. Get it? Because he's made of steel.
Yeah.
But he was all like, I don't want to be Superman. Like Superman's like my hero, and they're like, yeah, but you are, and so we hate you because you say you are and you're not. And it was like this really deep, like interesting story, and they just decided, but what if it's just Iron Man but worse?
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's like
I have a little bit of a cold, by the way, everybody. I apologize. I'm trying not to sniffle in the mic.
He's okay. Don't let him lie. It's just COVID-25.
I'm from the future.
Here we are in the future, and it's bright. Nobody here watches Steven Universe but me. I'm sorry. But no, okay. But
there's going to be one person in the comments. I watch Steven Universe, and it fucking sucks, man.
I'm going to be very, very sad about it.
He will fight you. He will argue with you in the comments.
I will. You'll just get like 17 notifications from...
Listen here, you son of a bitch.
But, there was one I was going to talk about. So, there's this game called Postal.
Yes.
Have you played this before?
I haven't played it, but I heard of it.
Yeah, okay. So, you play a postal worker that goes postal.
Yeah.
And, like, starts killing people and stuff. The missions are insane. It's like, go get milk and cigarettes from the grocery store and stuff like that. But on your way, like, you get stopped by protesters, so you have to kill them all and stuff like that. Like, it's an insane game. And someone decided to try and make a fucking movie out of it. And the movie is just garbage. Even Running with Scissors, the game, like the production company of the game, they're like, we sold the movie rights to it and then immediately regretted it.
Well, and there's also like the Hitman games, which I like those games a lot.
Oh my God, they did make a movie out of this.
They made two.
Oh, what?
Yeah, with Timothy
Tim Allen. No.
Yeah, Tim Allen. But like those games, I don't think those games work as films because they're very, like all the fun parts about them are in there.
Yeah. Then there's like, then on like Netflix they did Castlevania, which has done very well. Like it's a very good adaptation of the lore of the source material.
Well, like, and what I meant, like the thing is that the things that are fun about these games are you playing them. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Is like the thing that's fun about the Hitman games. The thing that makes those games good is that trying to solve like what's the best way to go about getting this or whatever.
Yeah.
But like just watching some bald asshole.
Watching Jake Gyllenhaal be an Egyptian dude, like or a Persian
that's
dude,
not,
I should say.
Yeah, that's not.
No.
Or watching Michael Fassbender call that lady whose name I never remember and her dad Jeremy Irons, you motherfucker, fucking fucker, cunt, fuck, ass fuckers. Fucker, fuck,
it's
fucks.
like, okay, so...
And then they're like, yeah, but we need you to go back in time. I'll do it once. And then that's it.
One of the ones
Assassin's Creed movies so much.
I understand, my friend. One of the movies I loved as a kid, too, was Street Fighter. I loved the Street Fighter movies. And I'm trying to remember what his name is. I'm actually trying to look it up right now. Raul Julia. He played Gomez Adams. He played M. Bison in that movie.
Of course.
Yeah.
That guy?
And he had colon cancer. The only reason he played in that movie is because his children saw that he was up for the role and was like, please, Dad, please be M. Bison.
That's cool.
And, like, I respect that so much. And it's not the best adaptation of it, but, like...
Certainly not worse.
It's not the worst, yeah. And it's okay. It made, like, twice its budget back. I'm sitting here looking through a list of all of the, like, video game movie adaptations, and I forgot how many of these fucking things there are.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, surprisingly.
Mortal Kombat, the 90s one... everyone was like, "Oh, the new Mortal." Okay, I like the new Mortal Kombat movie.
I still haven't watched.
I know,
it.
and you remember me texting you about this,
Yeah.
and I was like, "It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I understand they brought in a new character that wasn't in the games and stuff, but like, they did good with bringing him in."
I looked it up because I thought, what are the chances that there'll be like an after credit scene and Spawn will show up?
And it didn't happen.
It not only did it not happen, it very much didn't happen. So I was like, fuck them and fuck this movie.
Yeah, why did you think Spawn? Because he's in the newest Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, well, I thought, and it would be like a cool little thing because they're
Yeah.
making a new Spawn movie with Jamie Foxx as Spawn.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, Jamie Foxx would come in and be like, I'm Spawn.
I'm Spawn.
And
But everyone was comparing it to those original Mortal Kombat movies. The original Mortal Kombat movies fucking sucked, and anyone who disagrees can fight me.
Direct to VHS?
No, they were in the movies. They were in theaters. And they
Wow.
were terrible, dude.
Imagine paying money. That's like paying money for the Power Rangers movie.
Raiden was a white dude in both of them. A Japanese thunder god was a white dude in both of them. Reptile was the worst CGI I've ever seen in a fucking movie. Like, there's like a claymation fight at the end of Annihilation between two dragons.
Because that's just what you want. Mortal Kombat, which is a game famous for its smooth martial arts, to be claymation.
Yeah,
Very
it was
blocky.
It was fucking terrible, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the new Mortal Kombat sucks because it wasn't anything like the original movies." Good, because it was good actually.
Look,
And then
I need to say a PSA real quick. I understand we all have nostalgia. We all look back on things and we remember them fondly because we were kids. But most of the things you liked as kids fucking suck, and you need to just embrace and accept that, okay?
like there is good things. Like Darkwing Duck
course.
is amazing. When
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck throws the calculator at the wall and then Subway tokens
And he goes to the one Subway?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up every
Yeah,
episode.
you should,
Everyone
'cause-
should get used to that.
Mark Webb, you're not a bad filmmaker,
Why did you do
but
this?
this was bad.
Yes. All right, but I'm going to keep going through this list, okay? So then we have Lara Croft's Tomb Raider. Do you remember this?
I do remember those.
The first one was pretty good.
The first one was pretty good.
And then the second one was terrible.
Yeah, well,
the Cradle of Life.
because they rushed it, I think.
Yeah. They were they were released literally like 2 years apart to the day almost.
I haven't seen the new one either. I heard that was pretty good.
I heard it was really good,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Oh, Silent Hill, that was also a pretty good one. Like, yeah, and then do you remember Pyramid Head? The lady was on the steps of like the building, and he just grabs her, gives her the ultimate titty twister, and rips all of her flesh off. My wife's in the background just yelling, "That's so good! It's so good!"
I don't remember this movie, but
Oh yeah, it was great. Then we have
I heard this, and I want you to tell me if it's true.
okay.
Real quick. You know the movie? Was it? Oh fuck! It's with Lawrence Fishburne and the guy from. Is it Event Horizon? Was it? Yeah, Event Horizon, right?
The one where they're in space and it's
then
like the
there's like
sun's
a
gonna
port-
explode or something.
No, it's like a portal to hell.
yeah. I remember this movie.
That was supposed to be a Doom. That was originally written as a
I
Doom
don't know.
feature, and then they had to repurpose it
I
because they didn't get it.
I haven't seen Event Horizon in a long time.
I mean, you don't need to. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's just not. It's one of those movies where it's like the idea was better than the actual.
Some of these
movie.
I didn't even know they made movies of. Like, did you know there was a Far Cry movie?
No.
Yeah, there's a Far Cry movie. I remember the Max Payne movie. That was terrible.
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, we have Mark Wahlberg. Who's Max Payne?
Which one of us is the Mark Wahlberg guy? Somebody we know somebody
Who
can
loves
do
Mark?
who can do an incredible Mark Wahlberg impression.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. It's not
Well,
me.
it's clearly not you,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's me. God, who do I know?
I don't know.
We got to
Is
get him
it
on the
Dale?
show. No, Dale can't do impressions.
All right, so
Fuck, who is it? I'm
Then
gonna
there's, like,
figure out which one of my friends. Can
okay,
do it and
there's
bring him on the show.
way more Resident Evil movies than I remembered.
Dude, isn't there like 7?
I
or
think
8?
so.
Yeah,
All right, then we have
which is 7 or 8 too many.
Need for Speed, which starred
Oh fuck, I forgot that was fucking the dude from
Aaron
Breaking
Paul.
Bad.
Yeah, and
Is it good?
I don't know. It has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes, but if I'm being honest, I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes at all.
Rotten Tomatoes is like,
My wife says it's good. If I like car movies, it's good. Okay.
but let me ask you this: is it about family?
It's about family.
I don't know. That movie just. I honestly was like not 100% sure that like it wasn't a Fast and Furious knockoff. So I was
It
like,
kind of sounds like it would be. You were right though. They did make. I think they made 3 Hitman movies. No, 2. It was 2. Then the Warcraft movie. I remember how big that was when it came out.
and all of my friends, all of my stupid high school friends were like, fucking Warcraft movie's pretty fucking good, man. It's like fucking good. Don't listen to the critics and everybody who could have objective opinions. I work at a gas station in Indiana. I know it's good.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna pass on this
played
one.
the first Warcraft. I never played World of Warcraft, but I played Warcraft, which
Yeah.
is the movie or the game it's based off of. I played all the way up to Warcraft 3, and it's not that good. Like, I understand what they were trying to do with like the orcs and stuff like that, but like, they got the lore right, but they didn't. The execution was totally off.
Yeah.
It could have been amazing. It could have been. If they would have went the direction I thought they were going to go in, it could have been good. Not saying that I know better than these guys or anything, but like,
But you do.
I do. There was a Tekken movie, apparently. I didn't even know that happened. There's the Assassin's Creed movie that you love.
It's so bad, guys. Like, I can't explain to you. Take everything you like about Assassin's Creed, assuming you like anything about Assassin's Creed, but take the thing you like about it and make that 10% of the movie. And the rest of it is the rest of the shit.
So now I'm getting into the movies that were well-received video game movies, okay? Except for one of these. This is the last one I'm going to mention that was bad. Rampage. Do you guys remember this? They made a fucking Rampage movie. The Rock's
I gotta find my buddy.
My albino gorilla buddy named George. Oh my god, there's an alligator. Let's call her Lizzie. That's not how it works. In Rampage, it's humans that have mutated into giant animals.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And also, there's a rat named Ralph, and he's dope.
You know more about Rampage than I would have expected.
Yeah, I love Rampage.
To know,
yeah, like I love
enough.
Rampage. It's one of my favorite series, actually. All right, but then here we're getting into, and this is exactly why I said I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. Have you watched Detective Pikachu?
No.
Have you known anybody who said anything really bad or negative about it?
No.
Yeah, good movie, right? Everyone says it's a pretty good movie. 63% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's a pretty solid.
But that's not, like, if you go to, the one review thing that I trust on the internet is Google reviews, because it's all user-based.
Yeah, but the thing is that, okay, I feel like there needs to be a healthy balance when it comes to film criticism, because you need, like, critics who are actually smart and, like, actually, like, understand movies. Because, like, the thing is that, like, fucking, like, okay, because, look, my cousin's a great dude. My cousin Greg. Me and him saw the Assassin's Creed movie, and he loved it. He said, oh, basically, if I'm entertained by a movie, then...
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Which, fair enough, yeah.
No, not
No,
fair enough.
enough?
I was like, one, how were you entertained by this horrible movie? But, like, there was, like... I'm like, there is objective... like, a lot of... It's art, so it's objective. Like, I, don't really like, some movies that people like. Like, I'll be honest, like, the movie Yesterday, I hate that movie. I don't like it.
Is that the one with the Beatles?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's not good, in my opinion, but
You know what movie I loved about the Beatles? Across the Universe, and then I rewatched it as an adult, and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, but, like, the thing is that there are some things, like, you can look at objectively. But the thing is, the 63%... Okay, this is the way I look at it for the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Yeah.
If you're, like, 20% or lower, it's a shitty movie. If it's 30% or lower, it's a bad movie. 40% or lower, it's flawed, but there might be something there. 50% or lower, it's fine. 60% or lower, it's all right.
Yeah, because it's a conglomerate.
Yeah,
right,
like 70% or lower, that's a good movie. It's not great. It's not going to blow you away.
Steven Universe has a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
There
I just
you
want
go.
to throw it out there.
Yeah.
But okay, so same with Sonic the Hedgehog. It's 68%.
Yeah,
I even
that's
told
like
you
solid,
earlier.
good movie.
I told you earlier, 10 out of 10 for me. I thought it was a great
Fair enough.
movie. It's a good adaptation of the source material without adapting the source material completely.
Like, I mean, because there are some movies like that I think should be higher.
There's a Monster Hunter movie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
I've
to.
never heard that.
Yeah, it came out on December 18th of 2020. Oh, okay, it's bad. But yeah, that Resident Evil movie I was talking about earlier. It's called Welcome to Raccoon City. It comes out on November 24th of this year. There's still no trailers of it out. So I doubt it's going to make that release date.
Yeah, and that's not a great sign.
No.
So
let me see. Let's look it up. Oh my gosh, there's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out.
They've been talking about that for like
years.
10 years.
Yeah. A Mega Man movie that could be good.
That could be good.
I think if they do it animated, it'll be good.
Yeah, if they try to do it. See, because there's some things that you can't do live action.
No, yeah, of course not. My wife will love this. There's a Saints Row movie in development. Yeah, she said, "Fuck yeah, that's good." Metal Gear Solid.
Those would be good movies too.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I love the Metal Gear Solid movies. All right, so do you want to get into the meat of this podcast now?
Let's get in. Let's get into the meat.
Yeah, shove that meat in my fucking mouth. Yes, not like my uncle did. I've been waiting for 4 fucking podcasts to make a my uncle touched me joke, and that was the first one.
We did it, kids.
We did it, kids.
We got there.
Just like my uncle did it, kids. 2 kids.
Get into it, Jack.
Get into it, Jack. Oh my god, I forgot about this one. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. I was so excited when this movie was coming out because I had just played Final Fantasy VIII and it was amazing. And like I said, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan, but I do like some of the games. Like 10 was amazing.
Is that the one where the kid goes, ah, ha, 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 ha?
The movie? Yes. Or are you talking about the game?
The game.
I don't know.
Where
Probably.
Titus?
Yeah, Titus. Yeah, he's like, ah. Yeah,
That's
Titus
a good meme.
was a crazy fucking protagonist, but I enjoy those games a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, like I said, Final Fantasy X was awesome. Final Fantasy X-2 wasn't my speed, but my brother loved it a lot, and I liked watching him play it.
Hell yeah.
But that movie came out, and I was like, fuck yeah, Final Fantasy movie. It's probably going to be based off like the first game or something. It's not, and it's dumb. Basic as fuck and stupid as fuck. If anyone out there is like, yeah, Final Fantasy Spirit Within, it was a good movie. No, it's not. You want to know a good Final Fantasy movie? Advent Children. It's based off the 7th game. I hate the 7th game.
Yeah.
I think it's overrated and stupid.
Easy, because I know a lot of people who love Final Fantasy who hate that movie. So.
Yeah, it's okay, though. It's an okay movie. It's not the best, and they fucking designated half the fucking cast of characters from the 7th game as fucking side characters that throw up Cloud to like literally they're throwing him to the top of tower, and like you see Barrett and he's just like, who is this guy, and like helps throw him up, and it's like, you guys are like best fucking I don't know, I'm gonna get mad about this. Let's get to the meat of our podcast tonight, and that is adapting the first Kingdom Hearts game into a movie. Now the reason we're doing this tonight is actually because it's the 20th anniversary. Are you doing simple and clean
in the background while you're doing that?
We have to have, me feel tonight.
That fucking song is the bomb.
It is. I don't remember ever. Okay, so yeah, Legend of Dragoon, right? It had a song like that at the beginning of it. That's like fucking like banger of a track, and I'm pretty sure Ron Perlman narrated the game. It's someone like that who narrated it, and it's like, fuck yes. That's why I was like, this would make a great movie.
So everybody talks about Phil Collins' Tarzan soundtrack as being like a banger, but like it was better than it needed to be, and it is. But you know, people don't talk about fucking Utada, who did that song. She had 2 games where she did the theme. I don't know if she did it for the 3rd one, but she fucking brought her A game. She was like, I'm going to make the greatest fucking song I can for the cover of this fucking Disney Final Fantasy crossover.
Oh, it was Keith Davis who did the voiceover for Legend of Dragoon, who is an amazing, phenomenal American voice actor. A lot of people know him as the president of Rick and Morty, but he's been in like everything. He was Goliath and Gargoyles. All right, but do you want to start us off with this adaptation of Kingdom Hearts on the 20th anniversary of it? Woo! That was my vuvuzela.
I mean, honestly, I know they're talking about doing like not a live action. Like they're talking about doing, I think, an animated show on Disney Plus. Let's see if that ever actually happens.
Yeah, right.
But honestly, what I would do, I'd probably make it a series. And I think you should do it Who Framed Roger Rabbit style, half animated, half live action.
You know, that'd be amazing.
I think it would. Again, Sora can't have the crazy Goku hair, but like fucking, I feel like it would work really well, and it would give a good juxtaposition, a juxtaposition between Donald and Goofy, who would be animated characters, obviously, and then Sora, and then you can get the live action people from these terrible Disney remakes that they're doing. You know, get fucking Emma Watson back to play Belle in the movie or the show or something. I don't like it either, but you can.
Yeah, just to tie things together, kind of.
You know, I think it'd be a really cool thing to do. It would be relatively easy to do. Because if you do an animated film, it's going to be... It's like, why not just play the game at that point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do.
I'm trying to remember all of the plot of the first game, if I'm being honest. Like I said,
Sora gets... So they're on Destiny Islands. It's too much. It'll take up basically Sora gets the Keyblade looking for his friends Riku and Kairi. Donald and Goofy are looking for Mickey. They team up and go to Disney Worlds.
And then 15 spin-offs happen.
And then 15 spin-offs happen, and then Xehanort and his fucking 12 other clones / future versions or past versions of himself fucking try to take over Kingdom Hearts for some reason, which Kingdom Hearts is something that, despite having seen it in every single fucking main level game that we have, it's still not the actual one that we have because fucking God's dead and we're alone and nothing makes sense. And I can't remember the dude who is like doing the Kingdom Hearts games, but it's
Square Enix and Nintendo, or not Nintendo,
but there's like a guy that like is writing these, like a.
I'm on the Wikipedia. It's Jun Akiyama, Daisuke Watanabe,
Tetsu no Numura.
Yeah.
Numura. I'm sorry.
Nojima.
Yeah, that's that guy.
Oh, okay, the director.
Yeah.
Okay, Tetsuya Nomura.
Nomura, thank you. That guy.
You are not good with Japanese names.
Well, I'm also like fucking talking out of like half of my nose, to be honest.
That's fair.
So like, and I'm already dealing with the fucking accent that makes me talk like a dummy. So fucking here we are. Fuck you. Like, but yeah, I mean,
okay,
that guy has like no idea what he's doing.
I'm gonna start us off here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the story should begin, and instead of doing all the Destiny Island bullshit, I think it should start with Sora, Riku, and Kairi, like sitting together and building the raft to leave Destiny Island. And like they build this raft, right? And then right before they leave, just like in the game, all the Heartless start attacking. Riku and Kairi disappear, and the Heartless, they're about to... It basically like start with the start of the game. They're about to consume the island. Sora gets the Keyblade. Boom. All the Heartless like vanish. And then King Mickey shows up, and he's like, "Oh, Sora, I need your help. Here's my knights."
Going forward, we don't need the voices. We don't.
And then Goofy's
because
like,
that one wasn't bad, but I can tell that they're gonna get progressively worse.
Wait till I do Donald. Okay. And I just do Don Cheadle's voice.
All right, I'll let you go.
But yeah, he's like, I entrust you with my Keyblade. Or however he does it in the game. I can't remember. Isn't he the one that gives Sora the Keyblade?
No, you're okay.
I'm off, aren't I?
You do not see Mickey in the whole first game, with the exception of like his back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you're like, I'm gonna give you. Like,
okay, no. So Donald and Goofy show up to give Sora the Keyblade. Then
no, he gets the key. The Keyblade just
Listen
comes
here,
to
son
him.
of a bitch.
The Keyblade just comes to him.
All right, so you lead us then. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the ball rolling.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just take the plot of the game, just take it and just adapt it. Like, I don't think you need to change much to make it work. I mean, obviously, you can't have the whole like fucking him having that tournament of champions battles with all the kids on the island.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. But I do want Maleficent to be the main villain of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Until Ansem comes
that's
around,
what I'm saying. Like in the game,
actually Ansem, that's Terra Xehanort.
Yeah. Listen, it's just Ansem. We're just gonna stick with Ansem.
We're gonna go this.
Because we're gonna start getting into the fact that these games make no goddamn sense after a while.
Yeah. After the second game,
after Chain of Memories is when it stopped making sense.
Yeah.
And I've told you this 100 times. Like they didn't need 358 days over 2 or whatever the fuck it is. Like Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance.
Do you remember that?
I do. I never played it.
I have it on
Birth
my
by
DS.
Sleep is pretty good, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like Birth by Sleep's okay. Like there's certain ones that like they make sense in context to the story, but the problem with it is like just give us, if you're gonna do this as a movie, so we need to just, instead of trying to like plot it out, we should just set up the guidelines for it.
Okay.
So Sora, main character.
Okay.
His accompanying pieces, obviously Donald. No, I'm not going to do the voice, but
all right, that was good.
Yeah, okay. And then Goofy, he's like, yuck if you fuck, yuck. But
all right, Goofy was your worst one.
Yeah. Giving him, and then obviously, what are the worlds he visits in the first one? I can't remember. I know he goes to the Lion King.
No, not in the first one. That's the second one. In the first one, he goes to Wonderland.
Yes.
He goes to Hercules' world, Tarzan's world. He goes to the Halloween Town.
No, that's in the second one.
No, it's the first one.
That's the second one as well.
Yeah, because he goes back to some of them. Then he goes to the underwater area.
Dun, 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 dun.
But it's not
As
the
annoying.
sing along.
Yeah.
It's annoying,
That's so fucking bad.
but it's
Oh my
not
God.
as annoying. Then you go to the whale that eats Pinocchio. You go
Oh, yeah, I
inside
remember
him.
that.
Peter Pan's world. Agrabah.
Okay, yeah. Because you don't go to Agrabah in the second one, do you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And you don't go to the Tarzan world because they lost the rights to use Tarzan.
Yeah, I remember
after
that.
After the first game. I think that's it. I think those are the only ones. Also, you go to like the original world, Hallow Bastion.
Yeah, Halibastion's the like focal point
Yeah,
of the game.
and then you go to the end of
Is
the world.
Cloud in this one, or is he only in the
yes,
second one?
he's in the first one.
I don't think he should be in the movie.
I agree.
I
Because
think
he's pretty meaningless.
yeah, he's basically a side plot so that you can fight Sephiroth
Which
in the second one.
is stupid.
Yeah, that's
You
fucking
fight
dumb.
Sephiroth in the first one. He's like a secret boss.
Is he?
in there. Yeah.
He's a secret boss
He's
in
a
the
one.
second one.
He's like
also.
a one-hit guy, and he kills you in one hit.
Yeah, it's
It's
fucking
bullshit.
insane. Well, that's what's so funny is because he just got announced for Smash, like we said at the beginning of
Sora
Sakura.
did.
Yeah, the Sora got announced in Smash, and Sephiroth's already in Smash, so it's like rematch time, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Now they did a lot of clone fighters in Smash, so I'm wondering if Sora's like gonna have clone fighters that are like Roxas.
Oh, that'd be rad.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they
Riku,
won't.
maybe?
So they're not going to do it, but
They might though. He's not out yet.
yeah.
I don't think he is. I don't know. I need to get the second Fighters Pass so I can play as him. Because I wasn't going to buy it, and then I saw him, and I was like, oh, now I'm going to buy it.
But yeah, I mean, things that I think that are in the game that you shouldn't do. I kind of think, get rid of the Hercules. Like, you can go to the Hercules world in the show or movie or whatever we're doing, but don't stay there. Learn what you got to learn from Herc and move on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there should be some where it's like just cameos, kind
Yeah,
of, where he's like,
because if you stay
and
there,
I learned things from lots of people, and it's just like a montage of like him and Herc, and they're like high fiving, and Herc knocks him through a wall because he's fucking super strong or something. That's funny.
yeah,
Like things like that. Halloween Town, that should be safe for the second one because you do a lot more in that town in the second one
Yeah,
than you do in the first one.
it's basically like it's fun in the first one, but it's like there's something. I have like very little criticisms of the first Kingdom Hearts game. I still I play it regularly, like every so often, and it still holds up pretty well, honestly. The one thing that it doesn't do well is the Halloween Town, like, is an example of like we're gonna go to this world, and it has like no bearings over the
entire
game.
plot.
And it's just like I just fucking wasted a whole bunch of time here.
Right.
Like I could have
That's
skipped
what I'm
this
saying. In
world.
the second one, like when you go to the worlds, it's for something
Yeah.
important to the plot.
And most of the worlds
except for
are.
the fucking Little Mermaid level. Sing
Sing
or die. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know why I made him Transylvanian, but I did.
It's like you're blind.
Yeah. Let's waste your time
Yeah.
under the sea.
I do that.
This goes on for 7 minutes longer than it should.
God, that level.
I will never forgive them for making me do that.
I'll never forgive them.
Listen, Square Enix has pissed me off enough in my life.
Yeah.
They did this game in 1994 called Super Mario RPG. And
I remember
it's
this.
such a good fucking game, right? And there's this
Yeah.
character in there named Gino, and he's one of the best characters in the entire Mario lore. He has never been allowed to be in another Mario game because of the bad relationship between Sony and Nintendo.
So stupid.
It's fucking dumb. And that's actually what gave me hope when I saw Sora in Smash Bros. Is I was like, oh my god, maybe Gino will finally be in Smash like we've been asking since Brawl. No, he's still not going to be in it.
No.
Fucking mad. But nonetheless, maybe they can get him back now as a character.
Maybe.
Like maybe he'll show up in like the next Paper Mario or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think with Kingdom Hearts, it's a story that needs adaptation for sure. It needs
because
something.
it's not. Because the thing is that the reason why it's also so confusing is because there's like fucking 3 or 4 years between games, at best. Like
There's 20 between the second and the third.
well, yeah, but like there's like little individual
Almost.
games, but like
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It is.
It's
It is.
silly how long it's taken. And my thing is that
I can remember being 14 years old and them teasing Kingdom Hearts 3.
oh yeah,
Like, and it was right after the second one came out.
yeah,
And
they blue balled us for a decade and a
Yeah.
half. Yeah. Well, and like that's my thing too. It's like I think the big reason why is because they don't like. There's not really much to do in the way of changing the game mechanics, and that's the thing that's holding them up.
yeah,
where it's like if you just tell a story, stop putting money into the game mechanics and start putting money into like actual writers and stuff, they could fix this.
Yeah, entirely.
So I feel like that's one of the few, like, I would rather watch it than play it as a game anymore.
Exactly.
I'd really rather just see it play out.
Like, and I was talking about Zelda earlier. The newest one, Breath of the Wild. It's an amazing game.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fun to play, but it's also fun to watch. And you can do that with a game. And that proved to me that you can do that with a game. There was a moment in Breath of the Wild where I cried because of, like, how deep the cinematic got.
Yeah.
And that could also be just because I'm a huge fan of Zelda. I mean, it's the first game I ever played. I'm fucking obsessed with it practically. And seeing him act it out with voice actors for the first time like that was breathtaking to me. A lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it. And I think that's their problem is they wanted to focus on stories, but Square Enix isn't a storytelling company, and which I don't get because they've done so well at telling stories with Final Fantasy and making the gameplay fun. They've done good with telling stories with, like they did that Super Mario RPG. Great storyline, very fun game. And I think that they got caught up too much in the story and forgot to make the gameplay fun. And then when they realized that they did that, they tried to make the gameplay fun and forgot about the story. And they couldn't figure out how to balance it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like they're having to worry about too many things making this a video game at this point. For me, just make it a series. Make it something that we watch. Get some writers, like Hollywood
Especially since
writers.
the story's over now, isn't it? There's not going to be a Kingdom Hearts 4, is there?
No, there is.
There is?
There's going to be more.
Wow, when I'm 52?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out in 2177.
Wow, I'll be dead then. For sure.
And it's like, yeah, it's silly. It's too much. And I think Nomura is not a good director. Like, I just don't think he's good at managing the workload.
I don't either.
And I think that's a big part of it. And he's not a great, like, story guy. Like, because his stories make no fucking sense. Like, it's just, I would like to see a whole reboot, but that's never going to fucking happen. But if you could get some writers in there to act, like, some, like, good writers, like Alex Kurtzman.
Listen here. Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
Not
like,
now. Present Jeff Johns.
Yeah, you could get Jeff Johns, like, I mean, he might look at it and go, this is fucking too much for me, kid.
What's crazy is this whole series, right, started because a Disney executive came into an elevator with this Nomura guy. And they were just like, hey, you're from Square Enix. Oh, yeah, you're from Disney. What if we did a story where our characters met?
Yeah.
And that's literally how it became about. And it's crazy because Nomura, he directed a couple of the Final Fantasy games. And like I said, those are deep lore games.
Yeah.
They are story-based games. And obviously they're RPGs and action RPGs, but nonetheless, like, you've done this before, man. How are you messing this up this bad?
It's because that's never what he was good at. He was the guy, like, because the thing is, he got famous because he did the art for 7. So he was the guy who designed how
he
Cloud
didn't do,
looked.
like, the art and stuff.
Well, he designed
did, like,
the characters.
The models,
yeah, he designed the characters. And so everyone was like, oh, these are his characters. He didn't design Cloud's personality, though. He just drew how he looked.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know, like, because that's the thing. Cloud in the Kingdom Hearts games, he's like this fucking emo guy, and he's all like, nobody understands me.
My last name's Strive because I have to strive.
But like in the games, isn't he kind of like a wisecracker a little bit? Or
yeah,
like,
kind of. Like, I don't know how to. I'm not a big fan of 7, if I'm being honest.
But like he says shit like, yo, let's get Mosey or whatever. Like, I think, like he's like a guy. He's like a person instead of dark emo. Like, nobody understands me, and I got
he was principal character designer for number 7.
Yeah, and those characters look really fucking cool, but that doesn't mean he knows how to make them good characters. He just knows how to make them look cool. And I think that's a big problem with him too.
I do.
By the way, did you know in the original drawing, Simba, Sora had a lion's tail, and instead of a keyblade, it was like a chainsaw-like thing?
That's pretty awesome.
And Disney was like, fucking what? You want to hack these people up with a chainsaw? And he was like, okay, give me a minute.
I won't. So, he never worked on story.
Yeah,
ever.
He's not a story guy.
No, he did come up with some of the best ideas from the Final Fantasy games, though. I'm not going to lie. Like Limit Break, he came up with that and stuff, because I'm reading over his shit right now. But he was the main director in story for Kingdom Hearts.
And I think that's a problem.
I do too.
If you got some good writers in there, some people who really know how to make a story make sense. Like, we joked about it, but like Jeff Johns probably would do a pretty good job.
Yeah,
because even though he kind of dropped the ball with the 3 Jokers thing, that was mainly because I think he didn't expect to ever have to finish it. So he was like, shit, they're making me come back and do this. Well, but like, I mean, his Flashpoint story, that was complicated, but it made sense. You know, Blackest Night, which made sense. I mean, his Green Lantern Rebirth, he was able to basically, the modern Green Lantern mythos with all the different Lantern Corps and the emotional entities, that was all him. And it's a lot, but it makes sense.
I was just reading it. Guess who messed up Kingdom Hearts?
Who?
Disney.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So he wanted to just continue the storyline, but they were like, well, but what about all these subplots you started in 2? And he was like, well, finish them up in 3. And they go, no, finish them up in other games. So that's why, like, 358 over 2 came out. The only other game that was supposed to, remember earlier when I was like, Chain of Memories is probably the only game that makes sense. That was the only sub-game that was supposed to be out. And then they made him do all these other games as well to finish up the storyline before he got 3 out, so that he could finish all the subplots from 2 and then just focus on a new story for 3.
But he didn't, because 3 finishes
just continued
the story
from 2, yeah.
So they made him do all this shit just to not end up... Not fucking...
Poor guy. Disney and their fucking interference. That's why I'm glad that they don't touch Marvel. Like, Kevin Feige's the one that's like, I do this. And they're like, okay, just no blood. And he was like, fine.
Yeah.
I can do that. But
no,
I heard
they won't fuck with Marvel just because that's like they're
the
like...
money maker.
Yeah.
That and Star Wars, but they fucked Star Wars up pretty
bad.
bad.
Yeah, they fucked Star Wars pretty bad. Because they were scared, because the fan base can be toxic.
Yeah, we're extremely toxic. Don't lie.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not crazy about the sequel movies.
I don't mind them. I'm the kind of guy where it's literally like Star Wars is Star Wars, to like quote like the Mr. Incredible meme.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel about it. I don't care if it's good or bad. It's fucking Star Wars. And I'm gonna watch it.
Well, the thing is that Star Wars has always been a mixed bag. Like,
it really
I mean,
has. It's been a bad batch, you could say.
Get out.
Yeah. Okay.
This is your house, but get out.
Get the fuck out of your house.
But that's a big thing. Is you got to get hands off. You got to let them get good storytellers.
Exactly.
Because Nomura is not a story guy.
No.
And I think he wants to be. I think he fancies himself one.
And if he comes up with a story, let other people tell it.
Well, and it's like
structure.
It's kind of like George Lucas. George Lucas is a brilliant
yeah.
story guy.
He's he's good at creating worlds.
And he's good at creating like ideas for stories. But the problem is that he's shit at executing them. Because the story of the prequels is actually pretty compelling.
Listen here, I don't like sand. It's dry and coarse, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, it does. Everywhere. But the problem is that, you know what else gets everywhere?
Bad writing?
Bad writing by George Lucas. He's not good at it.
Listen,
that's
Attack of the Clones is the best movie in the entire saga.
That's very not right.
Listen, me and Mike are about the fist fight.
I literally have never been able to sit through that whole movie in one sitting.
I do like when Mace Windu uses the vape pad style of lightsaber fighting to cut off Jango Fett's head.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is.
But like, I mean, it's not a coincidence that the best movie in the Star Wars canon is the one that George Lucas had the absolute least to do with.
Empire Strikes Back?
Empire Strikes Back. Of the originals, obviously, it had nothing to do with the new ones. But
I don't know, though. The opening... All right. I know we've gotten off topic here, but fair enough. This was a hard topic for us to cover, if I'm being honest. But the opening of Episode 3 is one of the best openings in cinematic history. Like, in my opinion.
It's good. I like it.
And the ending of Episode 3. Not like the ending, but like that last lightsaber fight. I can't watch the whole like, you were my brother, Anakin, I love you speech without tearing up and be like, fuck you.
That part was good. The fight was a little too long.
I like it like that, though.
I feel like they could have cut it
But
a
it
little
makes
bit.
sense because it's master fighting apprentice. Like,
yeah.
they
but
know
it's
each other
also,
so well that like,
I don't know. It's very much computer-generated masturbation, in my opinion.
Just Duel of Fates going in the background. I can't get mad at it.
I mean, yeah. But, yeah, this, sum up with the Kingdom Hearts thing.
Yes, please.
I really wish they would just do it as a series. Just stop with the games. I think...
And if you do the games, restart it. Restart it. Give us something better to go off of. Because after... This is my excitement for Kingdom Hearts 3. I played the second one when I'm 14 years old in 2006, 2005, whatever it was, when I played it. And I'm so fucking pumped. I'm ready for it. And then 2 or 3 years go away. Yeah, like exactly. And then it finally releases, and 15 years later, And I give no fucks at all.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just mad that it took this long to get out.
See, my relationship with Kingdom Hearts totally changed because I remember seeing the commercial for the first one.
Oh, it blew your mind, right?
And I begged my parents, I was 9, for
Fair
Christmas
enough.
to get me a PlayStation 2 and Kingdom Hearts.
It was one of the first games I got for PlayStation 2.
And I did. My parents were awesome and got that. And I played the shit out of it.
Yeah, great game.
I loved it. I've beaten it so many times, and the world interested me. There was so much that they didn't touch on. And then now I'm watching it because I'm fascinated by the train wreck of it. Like, I was just like, I want to see how crazy this gets. I want to see how bad it is.
Have you ever seen the Angry Video Game Nerd?
Oh, yeah.
He's probably my longest watching. I've watched him literally since 2005 on YouTube. And, I was with him all the way back in the game trailer days. And he does a series called Chronologically Confused. He's only done this for, 3 things, and one of them is Kingdom Hearts. Because, straight up, and he makes a good point. There's that one collection that came out on PS4 that's all of the games up to the third one. That's Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 Master Mix Collection with Dream Drop Distance, #rework dreams. And it's what?
Yeah. I like how so you can get that collection with Kingdom Hearts 3 now, and I think they learned their lesson because they called it the story so far.
Yeah.
Which they're like, all right, we're fucking making out math equations. This is the fucking anti-life equation.
358 over 3 days over 5, 6, 7, 9, 2, 4, 7, 9, 2, 1, plus games 1 and 2, and rework chain of memories.
Mix 7.
Mix 7. Mick fallen, and I can't get up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jesus Christ. But no, in closing, and my thoughts of it, I was excited for the third one up until it released. Literally.
Yeah, and I've heard that it's the worst of the 3 main games.
I played maybe 15 minutes of it. That's it.
And it's meh.
They just announced that all 3 games are coming to the Switch and all of the fucking re-release things too, and I'm not going to buy it. The Switch is the only modern console I have, really.
Right.
And I'm not going to buy it. I'm more excited to buy Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl than that.
Hell yeah.
I'm just being honest. I want to whoop ass as Danny Phantom.
He's a phantom.
He's a phantom. Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to see a world unseen. He's gonna catch 'em all because he's Danny Phantom. I could go through the whole thing, but I think we're going to wrap it up here, everybody. Recommendations for the week. You got a recommendation for me, Mike?
I do. So I'm going back to an old school thing.
Oh.
For a movie that is very, very good, but didn't get talked about a lot.
Okay.
Because it kind of got overshadowed by a movie that was admittedly pretty similar, but...
Is it Ants?
No, it's not. But people say it's a lot more similar to it than it actually is. But it's a movie called Dark City.
Dark City, this sounds familiar.
It came out 3 to 6 months before The Matrix.
Okay.
And it's about a guy in a world... I don't want to give anything away. It's not a simulation, though. I'll say that much. But it's a really good movie. It's a noir, kind of neo-noir thing with science fiction twists. It's a really good movie. It came out in 99.
It's called Dark City?
Dark City.
I'll download it tonight. I mean, I won't download it tonight. I'll find it and legally buy it.
Yeah.
Okay, my recommendation for you is Guns Akimbo.
Okay.
I actually just watched it today. Great movie, and it sold me on your idea of Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, sold me on it. I also have one more recommendation for you. It's a video game. I give you a bunch of schmimulators with a bunch of schmoms, and you should go home and play Glover. Just boot it up and see what it's about.
Fucking hell.
Schmimulators, schmoms, schmangela.
I will go, don't worry, I will go out and get the right game.
Yeah. You'll buy a Nintendo 64 and Glover.
Yeah, I will do it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
You can.
I will do it. I'm serious.
Visible wink.
I'm not winking. I'm serious.
I know.
But
he winked.
I didn't wink. I didn't. He's lying. Feds.
Fed boys. Life has many door, Fed boys. All right. We will see you guys next week, or we won't see you. Who knows? But you guys will hear us next week. All right. Thank you very much, and have a good night.
Night.
Schmangela.